Hello, friends and foes, fays and fiends, and welcome to Quests and Chaos. My name is Alondra Heilman, aka Lady Bedivere, and tonight I will be your heist handler as we continue with our playthrough of Keys from the Golden Vault. If you came here looking for Phandelver and below, they are on a little bit of a break for the next 3 weeks, so please join us. We are going to be playing the level 6 module, Axe from the Grave. It's not written in my notes, but it might as well have been. As always, the Golden Vault is sponsored by the Deck of Inspiration. Normally, we would have just an obscene number of cards from the Deck of Inspiration for our folks, but nobody knew this was happening, so I don't think we have any preemptively. However, I was told before we went live that some coins have come in, so we're gonna do things in a slightly different order than we normally do, and I'm gonna go ahead and yeet some coins at my players' heads so that they can purchase some cards if they would like. Oh, hello, these are our beautiful players. Wave, beautiful players.
Oh, we should have done a wave.
Too late now.
Can we go back?
No. Kill the feed, start it over. We gotta do it again.
And we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, we have 4 coins from our own Duke Fleeg. Thank you, Your Grace.
Thank you, Your Grace.
We're gonna start on this side. Aha! Woohoo! Hee-hee!
Oh, that's a bad sign.
You know,
First to die.
setting the tone.
3 out of 4 is fine.
So we've got some coins to start off the evening. If anybody would like to purchase a card from the Deck of Inspiration, that is fine with me. We are using the level 5 to 10 deck for tonight's game. I do also have my beloved Deck of Uninspiration, so if you dad joke so hard that I get angry, you might have to be invisible for 10 minutes and take off all of your clothes. A real thing that happened in a previous episode of this game.
You're right, I am going to be the first to die.
Are you interested in buying a card, or shall we wait and just see how the evening goes?
How much are they again?
2 coins for a card.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can keep your
I
coins
think
to use
let's
as rerolls.
hold off.
Is there going to be a happy hour at some point? Or?
You guys do always meet in the bar, so probably. I don't know. Maybe that's, if you guys earn GM inspiration, maybe that will come in the form of a free card or something like that. If you at home would like your own Deck of Inspiration or Deck of Uninspiration to play with your players, you can find them in the links below this video. We also have other fun things such as this #blessed dice tray. I'm modeling the purple one. I have the black one at home, but it is still at home because I forgot to put it in my backpack before I came over here. So I'm using the house one. Hopefully it has not been cursed by letting too many people from other games with bad rolls touch it. We'll find out. It's a good time.
Actually, on Cthulhu, I roll disturbingly well with those. I hate it.
Oh. We'll see if that carries over to D&D. Because it's been a minute. Where? Too many of my little fiddly bits. And then I click over. We have 2 more coins from our own Vanilloswin for me, with love from Phandelver. I don't know how much love is actually coming from Phandelver, but thank you. I will hang on to those and possibly even remember to use them.
I'll remind you.
The betrayal.
You will. Let's do just the briefest of recaps, which is not really a recap because of the way this game works. The Golden Vault is a secretive organization headquartered somewhere in the distant Outer Planes and rumored to be affiliated to an enclave of metallic dragons. They have operatives on the material plane who are always on the lookout for adventurers who won't be afraid of taking on a bit of illegal or underhanded work, so long as it's in support of an underdog or a good cause that perhaps can't be handled by traditional means. The way we've been playing through the Golden Vault, because if you're listening to this on a podcast, you might be playing through these in order, but in real life, it's been several months since we've played this game. We were playing this in module sequences, where we play 2 or 3 episodes at a time, covering a single module from this anthology book. But we have sort of tied them together with some recurring characters and recurring gimmicks about this kind of ragtag team of Golden Vault recruits under the handler Priscilla Taiga, who are perhaps not the highest level operatives that this organization works with. So they've had their fair share of interesting adventures, kind of Robin Hooding their way through the area. And the last one got a little personal for their handler. So maybe because of that, it's been some time since anybody's gotten a call from the Golden Vault in this corner of the world. But unfortunately, as things go, there's always something going on that's going to need a little bit of assistance. And the time has come to gather the recruits. And the first recruit, who is called back into action, is our own Devan. Nick, can you remind us a little bit of just what Devan looks like, what his kind of class situation is, and what he...
I gotta bring that into it.
If you want to keep it, I know it's kind of clericism is kind of personal, but maybe tell us what you're doing.
What is it?
On like
Ex-hobo? Is that what it would? Is that a good description?
I think that's the homebrew background I'm making for you now.
Okay.
Ex-hobo.
Okay. Yeah.
Remind us a little bit of like what Devan's situation is right now, and like what would he be doing on this like lovely Wednesday just before happy hour starts?
Oh, I mean, I think at this point he's living the good life. He's got his cured ham leg.
Yep.
He's chilling out at Sloan's, waiting to feel very fulfilled with someone giving him a delivery job, and then praising him for how well he was able to take something from point A to point B.
Really petting the ego.
Yeah, he's like, I'm useful now.
Well, I was gonna say, is he actually like in the building at Sloan's, or is he like
That's where the
sitting
Cheez-Its are.
outside? That's true. That is where the basket of Cheez-Its are. You are correct.
And those kids, when those kids come, they'll take them all. So he's got to what? He's got to be there.
He's gonna steal from the children?
No, it's not take them
Stealing.
all. You want to
Preserving
He's
his taking share. it out of
Yes.
their mouths. Okay. Wow.
boy,
Okay.
howdy.
The spicy.
I mean, they're adorable, but they're damn vultures, is what they are.
I mean,
Yeah,
If it doesn't even reach-
heavy
if it
set
doesn't-
fellow. And some older chain mail. Didn't intend to be all stubbly, but he's stubbly. I just rushed out the door.
your clothes are at least clean now, since
Yes.
you have access to regular,
And his
laundry.
shield glistening.
Perfectly shiny shield. What is the emblem on your shield again?
It is in silver paint. It is a bunny rabbit.
It's a silver bunny rabbit.
Silver bunny rabbit.
And as you're sitting, you're delicately nibbling off of your cured ham leg and combining it with the
Make little
finest-
Cheez-It
little
sandwiches.
Cheez-It sandwiches, little ham and cheese bites. One of the kids, you can't really keep track. When I say kids, these are all older teenagers. They all kind of look the same.
Vultures.
At a certain point, one of them sort of rolls through, pops in the front door, drops crate of something on one of the counters to get picked up, throws you a peace sign as they go to head out. And as they open the door to head out, you just see this little streak of fur just flurry through their legs and through the open door. And they just kind of look and they're like, all right, that one's for you. Have fun, buddy.
Squirrel.
As you see this little massive fur just skitters and hops up the box, the stool, everything to get up on the counter, and you see a little black and white rabbit
Oh.
who looks at you and then grins with a mouthful of just two sharp, pointy teeth.
Count, you're here. Does he pull up a little cape now?
No, he's still just a bunny, just a normal bunny with terrifyingly large, pointy
Of
teeth.
course, I don't say that out loud.
Oh, no.
'cause our bond is unspoken.
It
But the audience needs to hear, so.
The audience needs the spoken part.
I am
Hyacinth.
his student.
Hyacinth looks at you, comes hopping back down, pops up to you, and just sort of snoot boops your boot and runs toward the door and turns back and looks at you.
And we're off. And I just one for the road. Ooh, do you like cured ham? Okay then. I'll cut off a good big piece. Good.
Oh
chunk.
yeah, he picks it up and just carries it out with him as he starts scampering down the road. And you see he's headed in the direction of the university campus, a familiar route. As you know that the university campus is where you will find the Sage's Quill, everyone's favorite bar because you all drink for free there.
The best flavor of alcohol.
Indeed. As you make your way to the Sage's Quill, the camera zooms back on the city of Varkenheim, pans out, showing the beautiful overhead of the continent, and then suddenly whisks over and zooms in on another bar in another city. This is a bustling city, a very old but well-kept bar. It's clean, it's tidy, it's just, one of the older buildings that's been there for a bit, with a wonderful painted sign outside that says, The Black Rose. And from inside are strains of music. What does that music sound like, Grant? What's currently being played inside this bar?
Good heavy strum of my trusty axe.
Yes.
And yes, my battle axe actually is my trusty guitar.
Yeah, go ahead and describe your character a little bit. What do you look like as you are currently shredding on your both literal and figurative axe?
He's a very bulky guy, kind of, pretty tall, about a good 6'1", barrel-chested, broad shoulders. Maybe not so much in the legs. Unfortunately, just like a certain person with the initials JB, not the one I'm imitating right now. He kind of skipped leg day. But, yeah. And some slick back hair.
Nice. And you are currently shredding on it's not really a stage. It's more of a corner of this bar where some tables have been shoved out of the way to clear some room. Nothing about this bar screams musical entertainment. It actually just kind of screams conspiratorial place to have a drink, have a snack, and maybe make some deals. It's only the beginning of happy hour, though. It's not too crowded yet. This is a Wednesday. But the owner is, perhaps unfortunately, behind the bar right now. Christy, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
The owner of this bar, a drow woman, is leaning over the bar, rubbing her temples, and quietly berating her barback, whose idea this was to have an open mic night.
Look, I just thought it would be, Wednesdays are a really slow day, and we're always looking for new ways to connect with different demographics. It seemed like it was a good idea.
I understand the concept of open mic. Maybe we do sign up and pre-vet mic night.
It doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but I do understand your point.
We can always market it as open and then just be like, oh, so sorry, the docket is full.
Okay, yeah, that might...
I'm just saying... I don't even know what instrument is happening right now. It's got a buzz. I can't.
I'm not... I feel like he might be using thaumaturgy to create that reverb effect, which is kind of impressive, honestly, but...
That's true. I mean, I will give him credit. That being said, if I hear one more person say, anyway, here's Wonderwall, I'm gonna lose it.
I did put up a sign that says, no Wonderwall, no Freebird. I'm sure it's gonna be
big enough sign.
Look, I tried. Hello, ma'am, can I get you a drink? As you look up and you see a tall, elven woman with very pale skin and equally pale hair, basically white, kind of has that moon elf features to her. Dressed very nicely, but clearly for travel. As she kind of walks up to the bar and goes, "Oh yes, I could do with a drink. Do you also offer complimentary earplugs? It's not bad. It's just very loud."
Taz, your bartender, pulls out a box of tissues and just slides it down the bar like, good luck.
Fair enough. I was wondering if I could speak to the owner of this establishment.
What did you need?
Oh, I have a job proposition that I wanted to speak to the owner about. She comes very highly recommended from some other associates of mine for this particular sort of scenario, and I thought perhaps I could speak to her about her. I've heard she sometimes works in other industries besides bars, and might have some interest in this sort of work.
Yeah, and Taz just kind of points to what is a door that just has, like, dice on it as a thing, and is like, yeah, I guess you want to go in the back, and we have a little bit of an open secret back there. So if you want to talk, we can get some space back there.
Oh, yes, that seems fine. Perhaps you could ask the talent to come along as well.
Okay.
Look, on the bright side, he will have to stop playing.
Taz walks up and is like, grabs, I don't know, booming voice machine.
Oh, yeah.
And is like, hey, wow, great. Thank you so much, everybody who's coming out tonight to the first and last open mic night here at the Black Rose. We are going to go ahead and take a break for a while. Please tip your bartender, enjoy some drinks. Thanks. Phone grabs you like, great, we're going to move on to the next thing.
Oh, great, got a new venue?
Yeah, in the back.
Oh, private gig. Got it.
You make your way into the back room with this elven woman who closes the door behind her and then turns and goes, all right, well, no need to stand on ceremony anymore. Hello, my name is Priscilla Tiger, and you're being inducted into the Golden Vault. You're welcome.
What's my cut?
Whatever the cost of the job is, and given your particular background and history, we're negotiating currently a 3% with a possible raise after multiple successful jobs.
What's your ballpark on starter jobs?
Starter job. See, we're being renegotiated. There's an internal union investigation after some previous adventurers complained that they were not being appropriately compensated according to their adventuring level.
No, I get it. Union, gotta respect them.
Yeah,
Else they will completely mess your life up.
They've previously, this same group of adventurers has previously successfully unionized a casino, a group of cultists, and I think a bunch of Svirfneblin miners. Not children, earth workers. Possibly the children too. I kind of lost track on that job. There was a lot happening.
Surprising amount of union talk for what I assume is...
I'm not legally required to tell you. Also, everything you're doing is going to be paid under the table. This is absolutely nefarious and hush-hush, and you're not supposed to tell anyone about it. Sorry, I'm on a very tight timetable, and I decided to give up with the whole, oogly-boogly. You've worked on the wrong side of the law before, yes? You know how this goes, right?
I'm currently working on the wrong side of the
Yeah,
law.
I assume nothing here is licensed.
No, not in the least.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. No, if you start paying me above the table, they're going to realize I haven't been paying my taxes, and I cannot afford that.
Oh, yeah,
so,
no, you don't
yes,
want to deal
perfect.
with that.
I love where
Union's
this is
fine,
going.
taxes absolutely
No,
not.
I can't do that. Great, what's going on?
We're going to, how do you feel about transportation?
I love transportation.
How do you feel about fast transportation? Anybody get car sick?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Great!
All right.
She claps her hands together and the three of you teleport. I'm gonna need the two of you, as is tradition, in an Elantra game to make a constitution saving throw to see if you throw up. This has no consequences, it's just tradition.
That is a 25.
You feel jazzed, honestly. You are incredibly energized by this rush of magical energy.
Yeah! Sorry, that happens sometimes.
Should have broken that. That's a 16? I assume I'm okay.
You're a little woozy. It wasn't a little more warning would have been better, but
Sure.
you're fine. This is certainly not the first time this has happened to you either. Priscilla looks at you and goes, right, just down this way. Sorry, we are going to another bar. I know that's a little bit... Don't worry about it. As she leads you through the streets of a city that neither of you is particularly familiar with, but looks not dissimilar in structure, age, whatever, to where you came from. Probably not that far away, but definitely not where you just were. As she walks, she sort of roughly explains the sort of like, yes, we're sort of working, it's a kind of a freelance situation. We put together teams based on the jobs, and unfortunately a lot of our regulars in this area are unavailable, and also we're trying to sort of expand on the skill sets we need. Given the particular nature of this job, it seemed actually very prudent to have someone with some musical expertise along, and we'd heard stories of your skills as a traveling musician. Thought that kill two birds, one stone, right? Just pick up two of you in the same place, save us a trip. Only one teleportation cast that way, and the like. But yes, we'll explain a little more in depth when we get to our meeting up. Devan, I see Hyacinth has picked you up, and you see a small rabbit with a huge hunk of ham in its mouth, leading a slightly overweight, tired-looking man carrying a huge ham leg.
Oh, no, I just brought a little, like...
Oh, did you just have the to-go bag?
Just like a fistful.
Okay, carrying a loose fist of ham.
Because people give you looks. He's learned they give you looks when you're walking down the street with a ham leg over your shoulder.
Yes.
And
Just point of clarification. Is this like, did you gave Hyacinth a slice? Did you also slice yours, or is it a hunk?
what's the difference?
A sloppy slice is going everywhere versus one normal chunk.
Carved out, yeah, chunks.
Okay, great.
A
Chunks
Devan
up,
slice.
plural?
Well, yeah, because one for Hyacinth and one for Devan.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Hyacinth had, yes. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Gotta get the proper visual here.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if this was I think you just robbed a deli, or like if you just came from the fair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay. Fair. Great.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. Lady Titus, it's a pleasure. Do we have a job?
We
Do you need
do
my help?
indeed. I would love your help, Devan. Because apparently,
Delivery? I'm good at those.
you do remember what we do.
Yeah, I was just
It's-
hoping for delivery. Okay.
Technically there is a delivery component to it.
I'm in.
Okay, great. Come on, we'll head into the back. Our last member should be joining us at some point. I know I sent the business card. I haven't seen her yet.
You're just staring at it like,
Priscilla leads you guys through into the door of this bar. It's on the edge of the university campus. As you walk in, you immediately see to your right a group of red hooded cultists carving sigils into one of the tables and placing little stones and spell components on it. They're all gathered around. Next to them, you see a group of college students that are angrily yelling at each other over a mathematics textbook. Just not magic, just normal algebra. You see another table where a very shady looking man with the hood pulled up, who's tucked back into, he has moved the candles on the table further away and then adjusted them to get just the right sort of upcast of spooky shadow. It's sitting in the corner booth watching the door, clearly waiting for someone. And then she glances at the bar. No one's currently behind the bar. Brushes past it, opens a door, leads you into the sort of private back room of this bar.
math makes people so angry.
Yes.
It's very upsetting. Well, I was expecting our fourth to be here by this point, but I suppose we'll have to start without her, I guess. The Golden Vault has been informed of a theft of an incredibly rare and valuable magical item. And it has gone missing under some peculiar circumstances, and we would like for all of you to get it back. She's sort of looking around a little bit. You see that she's glancing at the tables. And you notice that there is one table that is preset with like cups and things. Looks like it was set up probably for this meeting, but there is no beverage yet on the table. And And after a moment, she kind of pauses, and then she just looks around, and she goes back over to the door, opens the door, pops her head out. Dave? Dave, are you in? Gemma.
Is it 10:30 already? Fuck. Okay.
Shit. I thought it said 11.
I thought it said 11 too, but like,
Crap.
they're early, right? They're early.
They must be
It's their
early.
fault.
How do we... Hand me the thing behind you.
Clean. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Mop.
Yeah.
Grab like a Lysol.
Yeah. The three of you still in the room see a storage closet door in the back corner of the room open as a very tall man with a side shave and a flannel shirt comes out carrying a mop, followed by a slightly perturbed looking young woman.
Made of marble.
Made of marble, essentially. Walk out carrying a container of some sort of disinfectant spray. Hey, Miss Tyga, sorry about that. I was we had some spillage and I was just looking for...
Cleaning up.
Yeah, Gemma was just helping me find the supplies. So I will go take care of that and I will bring you your drinks. Thank you. And he heads out of the room.
You know, I've got to say, this makes me respect your service quality even more.
Thanks. That's weird. He looks like a lot like the Dave that should be starting soon at my bar.
Dave does have a lot of odd jobs at places. Yeah. Hi, I'm Gemma. Hello.
Hi, I'm gonna not.
Absolutely clean.
I mean, they were just cleaning.
We were just. Thank you, Devan. Thank you.
What's the haps? I'm Taz.
Taz.
I'm Huey.
Huey. Wonderful.
Glad to see you here.
Let me grab a tea.
Yeah. Everybody just get settled. I'm not sure what that... I'm quite sure what that was, and I just am going to pretend it didn't happen. Now that we're here, any of you familiar with the Canath instruments?
No.
So are we talking like this kind of instrument or the other kind?
No, like the musicians' instruments. The Canath instruments are the most legendary instruments ever made, created by a specific and very small, very elite guild of makers. Takes years of practice and skill to be inducted into the school, to be allowed to make them, and they make very few instruments ever, all imbued with very strong magical properties. These instruments are gifted to only the greatest and most well-known bards, and traditionally, after they have been gifted to an owner, are usually retired when that owner retires. One of these instruments, a mandolin, belonged to a very famous bard who probably none of you have heard of, because that's the kind of backwater this town is. Froderick Dartwild. Came from nothing, grew to be one of the most famous bards along the coast, and quite recently and tragically passed away. When he passed, this mandolin was, of course, entombed with him, as is frequent tradition in the bardic circles. Unfortunately, the instrument does not appear to have remained interred, and neither has Frodert.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this.
This sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Maybe you'll get there. So I'm going to need you all to go to the village of Toadhop. And I know.
Okay.
We're going to be going to the village of Toadhop, and you can meet the Honestly, I think she's the tavern keeper, innkeeper, general store owner, like universally runs most of the businesses there. I think there's only the 3 of them.
Toadhop does not sound like a large locale.
I seem to recall the population is approximately 30 at the present time. Yeah, it's very small. I'd like to send you there. She can fill you in on some more specifics of the situation. But the Golden Vault has a highly vested interest in seeing this mandolin recovered because of its fame and its magical properties. And the employing parties have requested that it be returned unto its owner.
So, when you say return to its owner, are we like digging up a grave and putting it back in there, or?
Technically, the grave's already been dug up, so you're probably just going to have to cover it.
Half work. I like it.
Does make it a little bit easier.
What is this?
You look like a digger.
contact's
Pretty
name.
good, actually.
Huberta Hadley.
Huberta.
Yes.
Would anyone settle for a violin instead? I've got like a dozen Stradies in the back of my shop.
Unfortunately, I believe they want the specific mandolin that was attuned to the hometown hero bard. You know, it's the classic story, like, grew up in a small village and then worked his way up through the ranks to fame and fortune. You know the tale.
Do they, like, dig it back out every couple years to check?
Honestly, at this point, I'd just straight up, force cage that bitch into the ground so that they don't have to bother.
I'm just saying, one quick prestidigitate, we could probably fix this.
Yeah.
I do know minor illusion.
I
think if this town is like as you say, I don't think you're gonna be able to see through it.
I hear what you're saying, and I just want to be clear, they didn't give me all the details, but they seemed to strongly imply that the only solution was to get this specific instrument. I'm not sure why that is, because I also proposed that if he's dead, it probably wouldn't matter that much. But there clearly seems to be something else going on here that I'm not apprised of. So I would recommend you go.
Honestly, it's probably gonna be fine. It's like a little bit of dirt, a little bit of undead, probably. Like, we'll be fine.
So let me get this straight. We're going to a no-name town to find an instrument that no one knows where it is for a guy who no one's ever heard of in a town that's probably infested with zombies.
And
Town does have a name, but otherwise sounds about right.
And unionize them.
Important.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense if there's only like 30 people and they can't manage to negotiate amongst themselves.
I'm pretty sure it's mostly just farming, and then Huberta runs like the 3 actual businesses.
She could be a tyrant.
Does she pay the farmers well for their goods?
Pay the farmers, or are they independent? Well, they still should use
Well,
unions.
yeah.
Yeah. At least health benefits.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't actually know. Again, I sort of just got this. She like reaches in her bag and pulls out her version of the little like music box situation. She's like, I literally like they sent me a key this time, so I'm not sure if that's because they were busy or because they're trying to cut me out of the internal discussions or what's going on there. But it's the job. Have fun.
Priscilla,
Yes.
have things gotten worse over there?
Define worse.
Are you sleeping? Are you,
I'm an elf.
Are
I
you
don't
trancing?
sleep. I've never slept.
Are you trancing?
Why?
Well, I just know after, the last little gathering we
the
had.
family thing that was just
Yeah.
that was incidental. It's fine. We've worked it all out. My brothers are dealing with all of the fallout up there, and everything's fine.
I asked Hyacinth, like, what's...
Hyacinth just looks at you and just kind of like rolls his eyes and shakes his head.
Would you feel better if we talked maybe in Elvish, make it so it was a private conversation about this?
No.
Okay, good, because I only know Dwarvish, but I know it's close, so.
I was gonna say not very private.
I don't know either of those, but I'm pretty sure they're different.
I say in Elvish, are they close?
Taz says in Elvish, no.
Oh. Orvish is not as close as I thought.
Right. Okay. So.
Elvish is closer to primordial, though, right?
It's a little more like in that guttural realm, yeah.
Yeah.
I do learn the most
Drunk to
metal
speak
languages.
it, right?
Huh?
You gotta be drunk to speak it?
Primordial?
No, Dwarvish.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Properly.
Probably.
Speak it properly.
Again, I don't speak Dwarvish. I do speak Primordial, though, so...
Well, I spring primordial and drunken, so I figure it might be
Dwarvish.
enough crossover.
Dave, give me your strongest alcohol. We got theories to test.
I can give you walk me downs for the road, but I can't give you the strong stuff because one of you will be driving. By the way, your cart's here.
This all sounded so great until you said that. Alas.
Oh, did I mention Toadhop is very close? So rather than the traditional drama of the teleportation, I figured you might want to just hoof it. Also, budget cuts.
There we go. I'm just saying the only time that I went several days without trancing is the only time I got caught and sent to prison. I did kind of start my major chain business there, though, so I'm just saying maybe...
Didn't you entirely, essentially unionize that location?
We unionized prison. It was...
Yes. And you founded a coffee chain and taught
Yeah.
everyone card games.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was I needed to entice them to get them there so that they would all come to the meeting afterwards, so we could get them inducted. Introduced to the concept of unions.
Yeah, you know that very popular card game that like all of the kids play that's sort of like half collecting monsters and half battling with them or whatever?
Yeah.
Yes. One of Taz's former adventuring parties invented that and just spread its popularity across the entire continent.
I don't
So do I
get it.
file complaints with you?
Oh, no. I've divested all of that back to the inventor. He's a robot. He just had a printing component and got really excited about it, so he just started making cards.
That explains a lot of things about why the rules make no sense. Anyway, here's the keys. Priscilla literally hands you like a set of keys.
I'll just stare at them.
Have fun. You know how to get a hold of me if you need me. Which I don't think you will. This doesn't really sound like the sort of job where you're going to need to be calling me in, given it's a town of 30 farmers. But, just in case.
Just for my edification, under what conditions might you be advantageous?
If you're so absolutely wrecked that you need high-level magical assistance, I have access to those kinds of...
Great.
You know.
And reforming psychotic gnomes.
That's technically my father, but... Yes.
Well, what we called you.
Again,
Yes.
trancing. It's great. It'll get you through a lot.
I'm just gonna have some coffee and go on with my day, and it'll be fine.
Just gonna like slip her a baggie under the table.
Thank you.
It's a new one, try it.
Right.
Get that in the closet, too.
Oh, you
There's
give her
a
sugar.
special stash back there.
Oh.
You can find anything in closets.
Giving her sugar. Good call.
For the coffee. Right, everybody, have fun. I'm off. And she collects her things and heads out of the room.
Does anyone know how to drive?
Taz does.
Oh, good.
I mean, I assume this is a normal standard vehicle. It's not.
I normally travel via like bird or something, so it's just a lot easier that way.
I'm used to getting teleported around everywhere conveniently.
Yeah.
Oh, you've never done like a caravan to the end of time?
No. My mom probably has. Oh, I should message
I'm
her.
kind of my own roadie, so I have to get used to driving some stuff. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Well,
I've got no talent for it. I'm a Sumpter, but they
Taz
kicked me off
takes
the ranch. Well, they didn't.
you're fascinating.
Thank you.
You get you get a text back. It's your mom's number, but it's clearly from the boyfriend. That it's just like, hey, she's a little bit, and he said like 5 margarita emojis. I'll let her know you messaged.
Thank you.
Picture of the Mephits.
Oh, you're so cute. Just little guys. Oh, it's my mom's little pet Mephits. They're getting very big now.
Yeah, you see 2 like Saint Bernard-sized fire Mephits curled up with a very buff-looking man who also looks like he was literally carved from rock.
Sure, that makes sense. Should we get to stepping?
Probably.
Are we in a rush?
Well, I heard it was going to be a good time. She said have a good time 3 times.
Is there anything we want to grab while we're here before we go that might not be at the smallest country store, I'm guessing?
We have the coffee.
Yeah, we should grab that from Sloan, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta order that sugar too, just in case.
I have so... Yes. And... We'll get you set. Yeah, the coffee...
Should we bring the ham leg? Who likes ham?
You see Hyacinth is still sitting there and like raises a paw.
Okay, we should stop by and grab some more ham.
I'm still waiting on those drinks from Dave. Hey, Dave! Where are the drinks?
Dave like hooks the door open with his like knee, foot, something. Has 2 trays full of like drinks. Walks in, and is like, oh, she's already gone. Cool, great. That's well, you guys can take her wine with you, I guess. I put everything into go cups.
Fantastic.
I'm getting paid in wine or to-go cup. You gotta step up your A game now.
We're getting actual paid, too.
I know.
Well,
but this
you're
is
getting actual pay.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know what deal she made with the rest.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
You guys are getting paid?
You're getting paid in exposure.
You guys just got recruited because we needed someone on the team with vehicle proficiency.
Yeah, no kidding.
just need a driver.
Yeah, you guys
Got my keys and my to-go cup, which is sealed. And that's what I'm gonna tell the police.
Oh, they're not gonna stop you. It'll be fine.
Great.
I stay on the outside. They can't ask any questions about it. Wait, the whole thing's outside. Oh, right, technicality!
Yeah.
You guys head out and you see the kind of like it's like the fantasy equivalent of like a sedan.
See, in my brain, I'm just picturing a sedan, but it's all made of wood.
Yeah, it's like a wooden sedan with like an arcane engine.
Great.
To power it.
Oh, these are the noisy ones.
It is not like the most lemony, but it's definitely an older model.
There have been more and more of these popping up recently.
Hey, but they got the nice stone tires.
Yeah, but they keep hitting the kids.
That's only the ones that are magically propelled. I'm gonna be at the wheel. We're fine.
Okay.
We're fine.
Yeah. Just like has caused some problems in the package delivery area. Not Devan's packages. Devan's packages always make it.
I never get hit by these.
Are you guys finding competition from
you
those
say you
little
never
like
hit kids.
duo drone things with the single wheel
Yeah, they're
that like roll around
awful.
and drop off everything?
Yeah.
Killing me. They keep showing up to try to do to-go orders from the bar, and I'm like, no, I'm not giving it to a robot. Not that robot. I'll give it to that guy. He points. There's like 3 Warforged sitting at the bar now who are chugging motor oil cocktails.
We don't really have this whole revolution where my bar is. This is a whole new. We're a little more backwater.
Give it time.
We're there's university town. You really get all types.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Anyway, I put some stuff in the trunk for you. You know, just your normal, some snacks, some healing potions, the usuals, rope, like 45 bags of ball bearings.
Excellent.
Everybody loves ball bearings.
We can finally play marbles.
I can get you just like actual like games too. There's probably
We
like
have marbles at the shop. I can just grab them.
I know Sloane's dealing with that cards thing, so I didn't want to go
Yeah.
there. But there is
Yeah.
a dragon chess set in the back seat in case you get bored on there. I don't know how long of a drive this is. Maps in the glove compartment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Sure thing. You also know how to. Well, you know how to call me if you want to call somebody that's not Priscilla and check in on things. So have fun.
You better call Leon, because I totally ditched him.
No.
FYI, he's gonna be bad when you get there, whenever that is. Not asking questions. Bye!
Dave very abruptly turns and heads back into the bar, and you guys can set out on your journey. You pop the map out of the glove compartment. You see directions that take you along one of the main roads and then shoot you off onto a series of branching, progressively smaller roads. It's maybe like 2.5, 3 hour drive. So, not close, but not horrifically far to have to drive yourselves to. And you're able to set off. Are you stopping to pick up anything on the way?
We're stopping to get some coffee. I did not have time to prepare a playlist for this
We
road
just
trip.
pick up the car.
Oh, I can solve
I
that.
think, I think you
Sloan
can
is going to be upset if we take the whole...
I'll just leave a note.
Leave a note?
I'll just text them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna text Sloan like we're taking things.
You
We have the coffee.
You just get a text back that's like the thumbs up emoji or whatever. So, you guys
And coffee.
load up on your supplies and you road trip your way off to Toadhop. The rustic hamlet of Toadhop boasts a population of 30. As you pull up to the town, you see 2 local establishments kind of flanking either side. Basically, you pull up, there's like a little sign that says like, "Welcome to Toadhop." It's very cute, it's very quaint. It looks like it was hand carved and painted with probably much love and affection by somebody. And then there are these 2 buildings kind of flanking either side of the road. One of them is a very ramshackle inn that has definitely seen better days called Misty's Bunks. And the other is a cute little, like, rural tavern called My Left Boot. You see out front of the tavern, kind of honestly blocking your way as you sort of go to drive up, sort of like kind of wandering very slowly across the road, is a large brown sow. Big ol' hefty pig. With the word mayor painted across her butt in bright white letters.
I mean, I knew pigs were smart.
There could be a wild shape thing going on.
There could be a wild
There
shape
could be a
thing
wild
going
shape
on. It could be a political statement.
I mean, good thing we are not here with any form of official authority. So that's a plus. To the tavern?
Probably. Yeah, tavern to tavern.
Taz swings into
Where do
a
we
parking
park?
spot.
There isn't really parking per se, but you're definitely able to just find like an empty area off the road and just kind of like.
No, she definitely, she knows how to, instinctively she is hiding the car.
Oh, 1000%. You see a really great little copse of bushes where you can just sort of like, and then it's not visible from the road.
Right.
Pick up some debris to like kind of place over the shiny parts of the mirrors.
But the mayor saw us.
Well, the mayor is allowed to know we're here.
Okay.
I probably, who can say? But just in case somebody else passes by on the road.
Okay.
I don't want them
Taking our
car.
hand. Yes.
The mayor might have something to say about the ham.
Yeah.
So
Let's keep that hidden.
we'll put that in the
Put it in the bag.
Yeah.
in the bear bag. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You would have been able to grab the briefcase of holding and all of its general contents.
The ham pocket.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As it has.
It does now. You guys head into My Left Boot and you see there are two very dejected and tired looking farm folk sitting at one table. They look to be a human and a half elf, just kind of wearing like their work clothes, plaid shirts, overalls, big mugs of beer, just kind of quietly sitting in the corner drinking. And then there's a very rosy-cheeked, curly-haired woman with a plaid shirt that's kind of like the tied up in the Daisy Duke style shorts behind the bar, who kind of looks up and is like, "Hey y'all, look at visitors. Well, what can I be doing for y'all now?"
Are you the owner of this establishment?
Yeah, that's me, Hubert, at your service.
We have business with?
Yes. We were
Got her name.
Huberta.
we were sent with Huberta. We were sent to find Huberta.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, what can I do for all? You're looking for me? Are you looking for? If you're looking for a room, I can book you in here and then just walk you across the street and get you all set up right now if you like.
I mean, we might need that in a bit, but we were actually told that there was something you lost and you needed assistance finding it.
Oh, y'all are here from the secure facility. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Maybe we should go. Step up into the balcony alcove. We used to do the back room, but now that Genevieve set up residence there, I don't want to be disturbing her. What with her mayoral duties and all that.
So that is in fact the
Oh, did you meet Gemma and Bean? Is she up front? Yeah, that's our mayor. She likes to greet folks when they first show up. She's real friendly like that.
Ow, I feel slighted.
landslide election, I assume.
Oh yeah. I don't think she's had anyone run against her in 15 years. Won unanimously every time.
If it ain't broke.
True enough.
An impressive record, honestly.
She's really been doing a lot for the community. So. Anyway, yeah, let's just head upstairs. What do y'all be drinking tonight? I can grab some. I'll just grab a pitcher for everybody.
Sounds great.
Cool. She taps she does the two pitchers in the hand, taps both of them, grabs a stack of cups, and leads you up. This is one of those situations where there's sort of the viewing balcony that kind of goes around the upper level of this bar. So she kind of takes you up there where you're a little bit further away out of your shot, but she can kind of watch the door below in case anybody else comes in. You see that as she kind of goes to do that, she leans over and she's just like, Gertie, if y'all need refills, just help yourselves and just mark it down on the pad so I know when I need to re-tap a new keg. I'm going to be up with these folks for a bit. And one of the farmers just sort of the hand of acknowledgement continues to just sadly sip beer. Takes you upstairs to a table up in the corner. Pours you all drinks. It's just right, so y'all must be here about Frody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how much they were. We didn't really want to get too into detail since we didn't know who we was talking to and whether they were even going to be able to help us. But y'all, if you don't mind me saying, y'all look pretty legit as far as adventurers go, and that's it's right nice to see. We haven't had folks like you come around for a long time.
She doesn't know this is her first time.
Thank you.
I was gonna say you hear a voice in your head should I just keep my mouth shut?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Are y'all okay?
Oh, it just
There was just a lot. There was a lot
of travel. We didn't really have a moment
I
to
totally
stretch
understand.
when we,
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. We kind of jumped right into this. I didn't really give you a chance to all settle in. If y'all want to, have a snack, take a nap first, we can deal with it. I mean, sundown's getting real close, so you probably won't hear about it before then.
Well, and I assume you're gonna get real busy here in an hour or two, right?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, rush is about to start when the boys get off work. Then we're gonna have a whole 6 people in here. That's usually about the
Rush
stretch of
hour.
it. Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, I mean, we would love to know a little more about Frody and that situation, and then maybe we can look at some rooms and things.
Well, I mean, Frody is Frody's pride and joy of Toadhop. You know, ever since he was just a sweet little lad, he was always so musically gifted, and his parents were so thrilled that when he decided he wanted to go out and venture and try to, you know, build up his talents both as a musician and as an adventurer. We were just so excited, right, to really see him using his talents for good. Solid Toadhop boy, making good in the world. So he was off, and he did that for a long time. Went on wild adventures, amazing stories. He used to come back all the time. Always made sure to come back, tell his mom and papa about everything he was doing. And, well, you know, recently, all the adventuring, unfortunately, you know, caught up with him, and he was tragically killed in a battle with some manticores up north way about 6 weeks ago. You know, we were all really devastated to hear about it, but you know, we got to bring the hometown boy home, so we brought him back here, buried him up the road next to his mama and his sister up in the little graveyard by the chapel, and you know, it didn't feel right. We talked about maybe setting up a shrine or a museum to remember him by, but it didn't seem right to be separating him from his golden mandolin, the one that he'd been gifted by the great bardic scholars, and so we just buried it with him, and it just seemed right. And about 3 weeks ago, we them folks who was renting the old Darkwild cabin, the one where Frody and his family used to live when they was here, but now that it's all gone, so it's empty. So we've been renting it out. The Folkers, they got a knock on the door one night, and it was a knocking and then a pounding, and then the door just busted wide open, and there was Frody standing at the door, kind of, you know, a little bit decomposed and smelling of the earth and the decay, and he said he wanted to know why they were in his house and where his mama was and why she wasn't opening the door. And then you know, they were rather scared out of their wits, went running off, staying with some neighbors now, and he has been up in the old cabin ever since.
Oh, he's still hanging out up there?
Yeah. You'll notice it when you get too far into town, because the wind blows down from the mountain, and he's quite upwind, as it were. Not totally sure what he's doing up there, but he seems pretty upset. And we'd like him to go back where he was belonging, as it were. Doesn't seem good nor right for him to be chasing good folks out of their homes like that. Even if it was his beforehand, he don't have no use for it now. And we did go take a look at the grave, because obviously that would have been where he come from, and he appears... there's nothing in there, but nobody seen or heard him playing any of his music, so best we can tell, we think somebody stole that mandolin of his, and he's looking for it.
Do you know, does it look like he busted out by himself, or like somebody dug it up? And
the thing was definitely dug up, and the casket was sort of cracked open, but hard to say if that was from him or from somebody else, or maybe some combination of the both of them.
Has there been any other unknown or non-local folks coming through town that might have left abruptly?
I mean, there's the normal sort of passings through of some of the folks from the neighbor village, but ain't nobody that would have really roused any suspicion. Nobody, y'all are the first, non-locals that we've seen in a minute, at least that anybody's said anything about or mentioned.
Was there anyone who was particularly jealous of him?
Oh, I mean, everybody was jealous of Frody. He was the local boy made good, managed to get up and out of this shithole.
What about unhealthily so?
I mean, there was a couple of the teens who were kind of sweet on him back in the day before he ran off, but I think that was more like that teenage hormones thing than it was really like a dig him up out of the grave situation. That was years ago anyway. They're all off married, having kids of their own at this point.
Were any of these people just musically inclined?
I mean, around here, look, everybody's a little musically inclined. We get together at the Harvest Festival and, sing some rounds, play some songs around the fire and things like that, but nobody who got the gift of it, like Frody.
All right, I have a plan. We wait till the next Harvest Festival, and the moment someone comes with the mandolin, we get them.
I mean, you could just go talk to Frody.
Yeah, we can.
He's up in the cabin.
You said his mom and his sister are buried up there.
Oh yeah.
Any other family members?
Vina and Marigold are up in the cemetery. His pa is dead, but died at sea. Never came back here, so he ain't buried up in the cemetery.
And their graves are undisturbed.
Yeah, no, his is the only one that seems to be bothered. Which, to be honest, probably right good thing, because I've heard stories about sometimes when you get undead and then it starts multiplying and replicating, and there's not a whole lot of us here. At this point, the dead would far outnumber the living. So if this is something that's gonna spread, I'd really prefer to keep it contained.
Yeah, I feel like this feels more like revenant than zombie.
I don't know what either of those things are, but I don't think I like either of them. So I'm willing to defer to your better knowledge and judgment.
So, should we go talk to our revenant friend right now, or should we, I don't know, go investigate the gravesite first? What are you thinking? And also, when you say that you want him to, kind of, take care of the situation where he's not so living impaired, do you want us to do this the gifting way or the...
I would really like to be able to lay our hometown boy to rest with all of his pieces and parts relatively intact, and that I would hope would include his beloved instrument. There's something that we got a couple of the magic types who come through occasionally that talk about something they call it attunement, which I assume is kind of a bardic thing because of the tuning. But he was apparently attuned to this instrument. It was almost like it was part of him, and so it don't feel right for him to not have it with him. You see?
You hear a voice in your head. I think they mean not to desecrate him.
Does anybody know mending?
Y'all are
Just in case.
Yes.
Y'all are doing that thing where like everybody's looking at each other, and I feel like y'all are having a conversation, but I'm not entirely sure. Which is totally fine. I mean, if you need some privacy, I'm happy to step away. I'm just a little. Y'all did that. Your eyes kind of glazed over a little bit as y'all looked around.
Just processing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it is a lot to take in. We've been the last few weeks have been a lot.
And he hasn't bothered anybody, right?
No, he's just
been
sitting up. He's just sitting up in the house. Won't leave it. Couple of folks kind of ventured up there, but like even the kids won't go up on dares anymore. They was at the beginning. They got so spooked by him, they ran back off. So.
And you said it's how far up the road?
Oh yeah, about 10-minute walk. You really can't miss it. You'll crest up past the buildings, you'll get to the fields, there'll be a little chapel and a cemetery, you'll start to see the houses scattered along. You literally can just follow your nose.
I'm not an expert on the revenantals. Their time of day where they might be better, where it's just, again, aligning that, check out the cemetery, talk to the man.
I mean, they're not like your if you're asking if they're more akin to like your vampires or things. I don't
They
think
might be, I don't
the
know,
same,
stronger at night.
not the same like
I don't know.
sunlight sensitivities.
Okay.
But that's a question for my other mom, and I'm not calling her. Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Do we want to head up there? Do we want to secure a room or 4?
I can certainly get y'all checked in. Or if you got any bags you want to unpack, need to take a shower for a refresher. I can get you some dinner rolled right up if you're hungry. I don't know how long of a trip y'all had.
Wasn't too long. I did leave before dinner service though, so I'm a bit peckish.
Oh yeah, sure. I can whip you up something right good. We got some fried rothy.
Yeah, let's do
Perfect.
that.
Right, I'll whip that up. Y'all full potato vegetables compliment? Mm-hmm. All right, I can get those up for you. You want me to bring them over to the inn for you?
That
Meet you over
would
there?
be fantastic.
Great, here you go. How many rooms you want?
4.
If you got 4.
Oh, great. Yeah, just follow me down to the bar real quick. You follow her down. She reaches under the bar, pulls out basically pulls out a drawer from behind the bar, so the thing, and just fishes out 4 keys and just goes, "All right, here you go. That's room 2, 4, 1, and 3. You can mix and match as you so prefer. Nothing's conjoined. Everything's individual. Just head on across the way. Head on right upstairs, and those will unlock the doors."
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You see as you go to leave a group of about 5 like lanky sort of like early 20s men of varying races, all dressed in very similar work clothes, come tromping in, and there's that immediate like, "Hey y'all, yeah, everybody just sit down." Everyone is dead silent. They just go and sit at their tables looking very sad as she starts chattering and like trying. She is the only person in this group that is seeming to try to do any of the normalcy of a like coming into the bar for drinks after work. Everyone else just looks very like...
I love this place.
Taz is gonna lean over and be like, "Is it? I'm kind of a city girl. Are the locals in smaller areas always this down and out feeling, or is that a new thing thanks to the scary?"
Are you asking that to your companion?
I am asking that to Huberta.
She kind of leans over and goes, "Oh no, normally this place gets real lively, and they'll be like wrestling out in front, placing bets, all kinds of things. I'm pretty sure that the whole Fodor situation just has everyone sort of reassessing their own concept of mortality now that they are physically confronted with the factor of the afterlife maybe not being as simplistic as we were taught in our younger years, and it's really just having a deep effect on the youth."
Okay, well, let us know if anything seems to be imposing a bad mood on anybody.
I'm pretty sure it's just the undead thing and the smell
The
and the general
concept
concern
of the undead, not
Also, like
blah, blah, blah.
feeling kind of violated, having had one of our own robbed through an unknown entity. I can say this: I don't think it was anyone actually from the village, because again, it's a very small, tight-knit group. Everybody knows everybody. It would be almost impossible to hide something like that. Someone would have seen somebody, noticed the mud tracked into somebody's home or something like that. If you want to search anybody's cabins or anything, I'm sure they'll be happy to let you in and take a look around. But I think it's got to be somebody, at least maybe from a neighboring village, but not from Toadhop.
Mm-hmm.
Any rivals from neighboring villages?
Not
like a sports team rivalry, like indirectly.
I mean, some of the younger guys have sort of an ongoing, like every spring, all the girls sort of go picking their bows, and then all the bows go like fight each other over the girls. But it's all in good fun. Doesn't really mean anything. It's just one of those, gotta get the horny out before the summer picks up.
But no, like prodigies from another village who.
Yeah.
Oh no, all them prodigies are all down the way at that conservatory situation. We don't go down there.
But the prodigies could come up here.
I mean, they could. I don't know why. They're all pretty highfalutin. I don't know why they'd be tromping up to a place like this unless they really wanted to slum it.
Maybe they got tired of the flute. They need another instrument.
The one buried 6 feet under?
I mean, they're both kind of gold, so it makes sense.
Well, thank you, Huberta.
Sure
we
thing.
will.
Go settle into your rooms. I'll drop off some dinner for you. The plates keep it warm no matter how long you're gone, so you can always just set it up in the room with the cover on if you need to go do investigating or whatnot. If you need anything else, you can always find me here or at the inn. Just ring the bell, whichever building you're in, and I'll come running.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Huey, as a college sort, have you ever you've heard of these instruments before?
Of course, yeah. Name an instrument. I know all about it.
No, I mean like these specific, like the fancy gold ones.
Do I?
Go ahead and roll me a history check. We haven't rolled dice at all this game.
Con save.
First one.
Con save.
All right.
First proper roll of the game. It only took me an hour and 15.
Not that one. Okay. You said history?
History, please.
That is a 10.
10. You don't know a lot about the Canath instruments, but you have heard of the, like, this is sort of the equivalent of, like, you know, like a Stradivari, sort of, like, this is, like, the most famous instrument maker, and he, is kind of like a very elite school of craftsmen that work together to form these things. You don't know super in-depth about, like, how many there currently are or anything like that, but you do know that they are cherished as, like, national treasures, as heirlooms, and anybody who is, like, gifted one of these, like, would defend that thing with their life. These are incredibly precious items on both a macro and personal level.
I mean, yeah, these things are pretty high class. It's one of those things where it's like, let me see. I mean, you're a magic user, right?
Yeah.
Use wands or stones or the blood of orphans. I don't know how this works.
That's tempting.
Stones? Stones. I think stones.
Stones. Yeah, stones. Is
Okay.
what I meant.
So imagine that, like, instead of...
I'm just saying there's a overabundance
I didn't ask. You're made. You're marble.
of stones.
You're out of character. What color marble are you?
like a
Like
just
the blood of orphan red?
Okay. No, like a very light, like gray marble situation.
Okay.
Marbly, granity.
Okay, so just the brains of orphans. Got it.
Yeah.
So imagine if, your conduit was chiseled by the greatest sculptor known to man. Whereas this, as awesome as this axe is basically just like, I don't know, pick up a stone, just toss my hand. This little guy right here. It's a good stone. Look at the curvature. It's got, pointy. You can clearly point with it.
No, that's not a good stone at all.
I'm trying to spare its feelings.
Oh, I've been rude.
It may be a rock, but it's not an island. But case in point, compared to this, it's acceptable. But it's nowhere near as grand as the conduits you're probably used to if you had a master artisan or sculptor working on it.
Have you ever heard of people who have been separated from these in death and have had issues like this before?
Well, I mean, only death after someone tried to steal it from them, but usually
not
it's
post-mortem.
Exactly. And plus it's usually the other guy that ends up dead, but I digress. It's kind of weird. But I mean, anything is possible, in terms of, like, as you said, Revenant, kind of makes sense.
Why was he fighting manticores?
Sometimes you just run into stuff. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're in a cave and suddenly
Yeah.
there's a bone dragon. Like, what you gonna do?
I would say poor judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm also going to say this. When you're a musician, you look for anything to inspire you. I mean, I'm with you guys right now. And this sounds like an epic adventure. I'm probably gonna die, but you know what? I'm gonna get a good song out of it, and I'll be remembered for all eternity.
How are you gonna die?
I don't know, I'm probably gonna find Manticore.
Yeah, the Manticore.
What? No.
It sounded like there were plural
Yeah.
manticore.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better. Seriously. Know what? Not enough people know how he died, so if I can die that way, and I'm the one that's remembered for it, it's gonna be great.
We don't have to retrace his steps, do we?
That's a good idea!
Oh.
Maybe let's start with talking to him
Yeah.
Oh.
and
his-
investigating the grave.
Yeah.
And then
He did manage to get back from the manticores and put in the ground. They had to go get him, but all the manticores are over there. The missing thing was over here.
I'm just saying.
in Manticore Hop.
Maybe the
Yeah, yeah, everyone's favorite.
Well, maybe the Manticore got jealous seeing him with that sweet mandolin.
Or someone got jealous seeing him in action with it.
I mean, would they be that jealous if they saw him die?
No.
No, but they might set it up so it falls out that way.
As you sort of contemplate your next moves, in consideration of where to go, who to talk to, and just putting off the inevitable of having to go talk to this real stinky undead guy, I think that is where we are going to take our break as we go out. I do have a coin for the punspiration of highfalutin. That is from Red Dead Coquette.
Thank you. You are awesome.
And everyone, please stick around. We're going to be gone for just a few minutes. And then when we get back, we will go talk to a zombie revenant guy, something. Stay tuned. Hello, friends and foes, fays and fiends, and welcome back to Keys from the Golden Vault. We were just entered into the town of Toadhop, a lovely rural farming village with a population of 30 and a mayor who is a literal pig. Our adventurers have just spoken to Huberta, the very cheerful barkeep slash inn owner slash only businesswoman in this place who isn't a farmer, it seems, to learn about the peculiar circumstances of the death, burial, and now unburial of local hometown hero Frederick Dartwild, a famous bard whose putrid rotting corpse has currently taken up residence in his family's old cabin and is not leaving the best impression on the village. You guys were all able to go to your rooms over across the way at the inn. You were given keys by Huberta. You were able to pop into these rooms. Everything's, old, dull, but clean. It's the lowest end of the hotels before you hit the motel tier. But it looks like it's, perfectly serviceable. You're able to have a deep fried country spread of these massive plates that she brings over. Deep fried, she referred to it as rothe. You're not quite sure what meat that is, but it's delicious. With a massive pile of local vegetables and big old mashed potatoes, huge flaky buttery biscuits. The food's good. And now it is just on that tail end of twilight. You're out in the countryside, so beautiful, bright moonlight. You can see the stars. You're far enough away from all of the arcane lights of the city. It would be really lovely and pleasant if it wasn't for the looming concern of the fact that there is some sort of undead creature holed up in one of the cabins up the hill. Unless that's a comforting thing to any of you guys, in which case it's
A little
great.
bit.
But
It could be worse.
It's pretty metal, not gonna lie.
It could be worse.
It could technically be
look at me
worse.
It could also be a problem for tomorrow morning.
How so?
Well, we would go to sleep and then deal with it tomorrow morning.
So it's the same
not
problem,
getting
just at a different point in time?
Yes.
Okay.
Post sleep.
Okay. Speaking of, did we want to visit any of our locations in the evening time? Or do we want to take a nap?
It's called sleeping.
Oh, I don't do that.
Oh.
I mean, I'm fine to go now. I don't need to recharge anything.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, if I don't see it now, I'm probably just not gonna sleep. Not because it's scary or anything, because it is way too exciting to see this. I want to see a dead man living.
I
have some folks to introduce you to.
So when Lady Tyga was saying have fun, was she talking to you? Because I don't see... I mean, the food's good.
You think she was? Wow. How did she do my taste like that?
She knows a lot.
It's a musically themed crime, so she might have been onto something. Why don't we go ahead and head down to the creepy cabin with our victim?
Yay!
you guys make your way. Again, you pop out. There's basically... The town basically is comprised of these two buildings. Then there's the little, postal drop-off box that you assume probably gets picked up, once a week, month, something, and taken to a location further down the line. There's a little section that looks like it can kind of get set up as almost like the farmer's market stalls. That's kind of on the side of the bar. The post office drop is on the side of the inn. And then after that, you just hit, fields again. There's sort of the main road, which at this point is the much smaller version from your progressively tiered highways that you have come along to get here. But there's the main road that kind of goes through town, kind of up, sort of winds up the gently sloping hill a little bit. You start heading your way up. You can see, the moonlight's fairly bright. It's nice out here. It's a pleasant evening. But as soon as you start walking into these fields, you see the, low foliage of whatever crops happen to be growing, and then you are just suddenly slammed in the face with this waft of death. Even if you have never smelled death, you just know that is what this smell is.
It smells like rotting meat.
It's not pleasant.
I think we're close.
Yeah.
How could a thought so cool to the ears be so pungent to the nose?
You make your way up, and you're actually able to. Hubert would have kind of given you more specific directions of like go about this far, and it's up on the left. But you're also able to sort of you see some of these other little like huts and cabins. All of them seem to just be lit up. Like every light available
All
inside
the scented candles.
is on,
Yeah.
except for this one that you see a little bit further up ahead. You know it's not too far of a walk. And as you get closer, it's like it is fully dark, and this place just like all of your stomachs are turning with how intense this smell of just decay and rot and funk is as you approach this.
This poor guy.
We really should have brought some potpourri.
Gemma, you would actually remember you do have some Vola's Vapor Rub in the briefcase of holding from a
yeah.
previous investigation.
Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't think of this before. Yeah, pop it open.
So I mean, he's
a blessing.
Pass it around.
Technically, people are made out of meat. Mm-hmm. If I purify food him, will he stop smelling?
Oh. Is he food?
Get rid of the bacteria. Technically, for something.
Do you think he knows thaumaturgy?
Would we have to like take a bite?
I mean, I have
to
a
the-
prestidigitation we can throw at him if nothing else.
I mean, it's worth a try.
We could try. It might hurt him.
You think he wants the? I don't know.
We should ask him.
If I was unliving, I mean, I wouldn't smell myself, but if I was, if someone came along and was like, well, I wouldn't want to be called food.
No.
I'd leave that part out.
Yeah.
But if someone was like, hey, all the rotting and decay, we can kind of curb that.
We might want to just see where he is, like, cognitively, because I'm going to suspect he probably has, like, a one track mind right now, and, like, again, he can't smell himself,
Yeah,
so
he
I
just
think he's a
wouldn't-
little beyond caring about the needs of others.
So he'd be fine with it. He just wouldn't care.
We should still, we'll check with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. if
Consent
he's
is
there.
important.
Yeah.
And we don't want to make him mad either, because that's not.
We're here to help
Yeah.
him rest.
Yeah.
You approach the cabin.
Oh, I thought we were just delaying the inevitable.
I was like,
standing
by the time,
outside.
like, you guys are probably
No, we
like
were.
standing like right outside.
Oh, we kept walking.
this thing.
We should have thought that through better.
Yeah.
Yeah, full shave and haircut.
As you sort of knock, the door sort of like creaks open a little bit. Sorry. The door creaks open a little bit. It is not locked. It just sort of pushes open as you knock on it.
Hello?
Howdy.
Hi, Frederick.
Yep.
We heard you're missing something.
Somebody stole the golden axe.
You don't happen to know who, do you?
Locals, not from here, but around here, accents were right for the area. Are you guys just talking through
Yeah, I was
the
about to
crack
say,
in the
are we
door?
standing
Just curious.
If he's not gonna, I'm not gonna like burst into his home, I guess.
Can we come in?
Please.
I'm not sure. Yeah, the whole follow the nose thing, maybe we should just follow the accents, then we can find where the mandolin is.
Can we try to cast anything about the not sure if you can tell. You have an odor.
That tracks. Don't know if there's much to be done about that. got a can of the other kind of axe somewhere around here. You hear some shuffling noises as though someone's maybe like going through cupboards.
No,
I think we can
okay.
help. We can help with that as long as you're okay with it.
We was food for the manticore. I think into someone's head randomly.
I was gonna say, was that out loud?
You are technically correct.
Let's see who
Card.
hears
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say roll a die to find out who got that.
Or so. Yeah, you. You heard that.
Heard what?
Food for the manticores.
Like, Devin. Hold on, I'm gonna like cut some hair off, start braiding it.
If y'all just want to stay on the porch, I understand, but you're welcome to come in.
All right, I'll go in and. How loud is this
Devin.
spell?
Can you put that on, please?
Yeah,
And how loud is our stomachs and gagging?
a little verbal, but I don't have to be too loud. I think I can try and keep it low enough that you can talk over.
I'm just gonna like minor illusion a more pleasant smell.
Yeah.
In our vicinity.
Yeah, you basically just like waft a like sort of like lavender mint over your group, so you guys are now like generally okay. It's a little bit like being in the bathroom where the airwick is
They just
set to a little
mix.
too much. It's not. Well, it's not. It's definitely better though. It's definitely more like painfully floral instead of painfully decay.
Maybe it's just me, but it just actually, in my experience, it just ruins the other smell for me later on. It's like now I associate this with horrible.
Well, fair enough.
But yeah,
I got nothing for you.
Purify food
This
and
is
drink.
you guys'
on.
I'll
problem.
choose
I'm just reading what it
roses
says.
next time.
Yeah, because those.
Yeah.
You guys sort of push open the door a little further, and
I'm
you
in.
see, you guys see kind of shuffling around in the back of the cabin, and then sort of like stops and sort of tries to stand politely as a host welcoming guests. Is a real decaying corpse. Its eyes are yellow. Everything's sort of melting.
Yeah, let's do something about that
something gross.
bacteria.
This absolutely tracks with about what Huberto suggested, that he died about 6 weeks ago and was buried for probably 3 of those, 3 to 4, and then now has been hanging out here for the last 2 weeks. He sort of like gestures a hand. You can see that a couple of the fingers are missing their tips. And just, please, have a seat if you like. I don't really know what the furniture is. Apparently that somebody else has been living here since I've been gone, but I didn't have anywhere else to go.
I am a touch curious. How did you get out of your previous residence?
Heard somebody busting open the box and taking the golden axe, so I tried to follow him, but I was too slow.
Okay, so you kind of woke up like
That's what woke you up?
that was like the last thing you
can
remember.
always tell when somebody else is touching the axe without my permission.
Okay, that's good to know.
It's a
If we
musician
find
sense.
it, are you okay if we pick it up and bring it to you?
Can't feel it no more. Would love to feel it again.
Okay.
Do you recall what direction you last felt it in?
No.
Was it, did you hear anyone? You said you heard voices at
Two
least.
of them saying something about fish.
About fish? How many voices do you know?
Two.
Two. Thank you.
So about fish, trout, maybe.
I don't take it. Purify food and drink did anything.
I don't know. Are you gonna taste him and find out?
That's what the manticores did.
No.
Devin, just like in your head, Devin.
Well, I'm not saying this to him. I'm saying do I notice
No.
a factor? Okay.
There does not seem to be any effect from this spell.
Dejected sigh.
You look at him and go, I mean, if I thought I could eat that, maybe it would taste better. I've seen weird stuff in dumpsters worse than this. And then you realize that that's the thought in your head. Do with that as you will.
Well, when you have to eat, you have to eat. I'm not making any apologies.
Not asking you to.
Okay.
Furter continues to sort of like just kind of shuffle awkwardly. Like he's not quite sure if he should like sit or stand, but he clearly doesn't. He seems to be keeping distance. Like he wants to make sure that he's not like scaring you guys. And it's that awkwardness of like, I don't know what to do with my hands, but it's I don't know what to do with my corpse. I
offer him my axe.
That's a nice instrument you play.
Of course.
Wish we could have a jam sesh. But,
I pull out my second axe.
pull out your backup instrument.
It's not a +1, but it'll do.
He sort of tentatively, like if you're truly holding this out, like he will sort of tentatively kind of reach over and you see him sort of just like pick at the strings a little bit. Definitely like doesn't have total like mobility anymore, and whatever, but you know, kind of like picks at a little bit. It does instantly sound like, even with the like tentative, I'm just checking this out, you guys can all sense that level of like, this is somebody who, if he was at the full height of his abilities and wasn't, you know, a corpse, could probably just take this thing and absolutely do some of the craziest like finger picking shred, whatever. Like there is skill behind even this like tentative little plink that he does, which makes sense with somebody who would have been seen as skilled and worthy enough to attune to a Canath instrument, an instrument of the bards. That's a nice one. So you take care of that. Make sure nobody touches it without your permission.
Don't worry. I have eyes in the back of my head. I know when someone tries. We'll make sure that we get back whoever took yours.
I much appreciate that. It was a gift, and I'd much like to keep it with me.
Do you recall anyone that might have been upset that you had this gift, or lose any battles of the bands to anybody who held a particular grudge around the area?
Not that I could tell you about. I mean, I'm sure there's always someone gonna be jealous when you got a certain sort of talent that they can't quite reach, but not anything that I know of particular. No rivals or nemesis or nothing like that through most of my life.
So no one ever threatened to take it away or to hurt you?
Only in the like, y'all stand back there, blah blah, villain monologue sort of situation. Dealt with a couple evil mages back in the day, and y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, did anyone ask about the Manticore too, or something like that?
Apologies if we can skip it if you like, but the manticores that you were fighting?
Jumped us on the way up north. We were supposed to investigate a cult activity of some sort. Normal sorts of adventure and stuff, I thought.
What about the rest of your party?
Don't know. I went down. Never came back up till now.
Obviously your mandolin was tied to you personally. Did it have any exceptional abilities that would have been advantageous to someone else, even if they maybe didn't know how your instrument worked?
If you took the time to study it, it would reveal you its secrets like it did me.
What kinds of secrets? I mean, I guess that might be personal, but
Spells, charms,
okay.
all that sort of thing. Seen people try to do this sort of thing before sometimes hurts before it helps. Especially if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing with it.
Okay.
I will say probably everyone here at least knows the concept of attunement and knows that if you try to attune to something that is not appropriate for your skills, sometimes there will be kickback where it will like actively harm you to try to attune to it.
So I got unless there's anything in particular that might have stuck out as like a special spell or charm that the mandolin might have had that somebody might have been jealous of.
I mean, who isn't jealous of being able to fly or turn invisible, right?
Fair enough.
Also, depending on what your game is, ability to charm is always real important. I used it mostly to charm the crowds, try to be on the up and up, but not everybody uses that sort of skill for good, right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if the two folks that dug you up used any kind of magic or special items or anything? Or?
They were mostly gone by the time I was able to get out.
Okay. So as far as we can figure, they're probably up north. They probably really like fish.
Is there a fishing village nearby?
Oh, we're landlocked unless you're gonna go like my pappy head all the way down to the coast. There's river fishing.
Trout.
Are trout river fish?
They can be freshwater.
Okay.
Is there a river village nearby?
Don't know who still lives down there, but probably you could talk to anybody in town could tell you which villages still got people living in them.
Well, it might not be a functional village if they're criminals. They might just be taking up in one of the abandoned ones.
Or
River's gonna give you ease of moving things too.
Well,
yeah.
if little Birdie's still working down at the tavern, she knows everybody around here for miles. She can probably tell you.
Now, that was like our best bet then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to go check out the site just in case?
At night, we won't be able to see. Well, some of us won't be able to see.
There's lanterns over in the shed out around the side. At least there used to be.
Taz throws up fairy lights and is like, bling, bling.
Not as good as sunlight, but thank you.
No, please no.
This is way cooler, though.
Please.
Gotta admit it.
Please not the sun.
Well, thank you for your time talking to us, and we'll try and get this sorted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tell them folks what was living in here. I'm sorry about the intrusion.
We'll tell them.
It seems like the town is very understanding of what's happened and what you're having to do right now. So that's why they're trying to help figure this out and get you back where you should
Happy
be.
to get gone soon as I can.
All right, well, we're going to be staying in town. I don't know that you necessarily want to find us there, but we'll be around if you think of anything else.
Much appreciated. Thank you. You guys are able to depart in a cloud of lavender and putrescence.
Yay.
Someone need a candle.
Do you want to swing by the
cemetery.
cemetery? Yeah, the cemetery, it's, you kind of basically just take like sort of a wide route around, and you see basically, these are like these little, almost like 1 room or 2 room sorts of, little farmers' cabins and stuff. There is an even smaller one, that just like straight up has like almost like the little like bundle of crust sticks up top that kind of make a little bit of a like sun, like maybe like a sign of Lathander or sign of Pelor sort of situation. So that is the chapel. It's not even really like a building that you would entirely go in. It's almost more like a little like roadside shrine where you could like leave a note or light a candle or something. And beyond that is a pretty large country graveyard. It's fenced off. You can see some of the graves have more like, if you've ever seen the little like crypt cages that they would put over things in Victorian cemeteries where it sort of tries to prevent grave robbers, some have something more like that or have more of the stones kind of piled over them like a cairn. Some of this looks recent, like maybe since what happened to Frodo, people have been trying to protect their loved ones, whether that's keeping their graves from being robbed or keeping them from rising, depending on the situation. Seems like there's been some recent activity. You can kind of smell the fresh dirt through the lavender. But you're able to look around, and it's not difficult to find Frodert's grave. You can kind of quickly assess there's like an oldest to newest situation in this graveyard. You head to the more recent section, and there is indeed just like a full-on freaking hole, like in the ground, that has a little marker at the head that says Frodert, yeah, Dartwild. I can't words. You see there are 2 more graves near it that do look a little bit older, but not hugely so, that are labeled Vina Dartwild and Marigold Dartwild.
So, anyone here good at investigating defiled graves?
I'm gonna flop onto the nearest tombstone and just start reading bones.
Cool. You cast an augury?
Detect magic.
Detect magic.
Yeah.
Just checking which one.
I don't have that.
Would you like me to cast augury? I'll need some bones. No, I'm kidding.
The second stash.
Taz, you may use your bone crown, not because it does anything, but for aesthetic, to roll an investigation.
The bone crown tight at her.
Yeah. If you want to just investigate, like normal investigation.
I would love to do a normal investigation
Before you
check.
investigate, may I do something?
Always.
I have something called Enhance Ability, which lets me enhance anything of my choice, and with Eagle Splendor, Fox is cunning. I'm totally not dyslexic. The target has advantage on intelligence checks.
Go for it.
Boom! Got the cunning of a fox.
You get some finger guns from Huey, and suddenly feel even smarter.
I just poke the shoulder.
I mean, even smarter. My int is Taz's dub stat.
Taz did not go to college.
No. Also possesses negative wisdom. So we got all kinds of dumb stats here.
All right, we're both dropouts.
Yeah! Big time.
Good.
Apologize. You said it.
We're the smart ones.
Oh.
I figured out how we're ending the episode. Anyway,
if it wasn't for Jack Trades, I'd be bringing us down.
Remind us what the
You
buff
just
is for
said
that.
advantage?
Yeah, advantage on intelligence checks.
Cool.
That's what this is.
That one's cocked.
That is okay. Thank you. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's much better. Okay, so that's a 19.
Yes. With the 19, you take a look at this grave, and you are able to assess. It looks like it was dug up with shovels or hoes, like some sort of like farming tools. It does not look like anyone like molded earth or anything. Like this looks like it was just normie ass, we're robbing a grave situation. And you're able to kind of get down. If you really want to get down and get in, you can kind of look at the edge of the coffin. It's just like your standard sort of pine wood box situation. It does seem to have maybe some tool marks on the side, like it was crowbarred open. Everything looks pretty generic to you. There is some damage that looks like it could have been from Zombie Boy, like pushing himself out and kind of clawing his way up and out. But again, these are all like, you're able to pretty well just distinguish, like, nothing about this seems inherently magical. You roll your bones for a bit, and then start looking around. You do see sort of a gentle glow of some sort of divine magic around the little, like, shrine thing itself. And you see that some of the headstones look like they maybe have a little bit of this sort of, like, touch of divine magic. Maybe somebody is coming in and, like, performing blessings on them. Some of them have magic, like maybe someone has used, like, a prestidigitation to clean them. One of the graves that now has, like, stones fully over it, the stones seem to have some residual magic on it, so it looks like maybe someone used some sort of spell or enhancement in order to move those. But that's a little further, like, down the row. Not really sensing... The magic that you're sensing around Frodert's grave specifically seems to be that... I'm looking to see what like schools it would be. It seems to be what you're imagining is probably the remnants of the fact that there was a very powerful magical artifact in this space.
Okay.
But it doesn't necessarily seem to be like, oh, somebody, used a thunder wave to crack the coffin open or anything like that.
Right.
Are you trying to cast an augury?
What would I
Like, do you want to ask a question?
It has to be about a course of action I'm going to take in the next 30 minutes. And so my only question,
You
if I
don't
was
have
to do it,
to, but like,
well, I'm just saying,
checking, yeah.
The only thing I'd be like, it's now a good time to go to bed.
Wow.
Nah, I mean, next
good
30
question.
minutes, eat more. But I if I ask people that, they usually are like, you can back off.
I feel like you're treating augury like you've got a magic 8-ball. Just like,
To be fair, that is also how I treat augury as a GM, so...
yeah, I would say the questions are usually a little bit less food.
Well, I mean, but I'm
Everything
saying,
is food.
what am
No,
I going to ask over the next...
I don't know.
The course of action I'm going to take over the next 30 minutes,
Yeah.
those are the two top concerns.
If I look for tracks,
It's been 2 weeks. I mean, go for
Go ahead
it.
and give me another investigation
no,
check.
I mean ask augury. Like, is there even a possibility of us finding some sort of specific path left? Because we don't know what the weather's been. I don't know. Yes, obviously people have been in and out, but like, I feel like not many people have gone to investigate this grave in particular because they know what happened. He's up the hill.
It's been 2 weeks.
You could.
It's been 2 weeks. Detect magic didn't.
I mean, it's picked up that the thing was here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But people have all been walking around. There's footprints everywhere. Who's?
You know, that feels like a you opinion and not an augury opinion.
Okay, give me those bones.
which set?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right, I'll do augury.
Cool. You cast an augury. You roll some bones, and what is the course of action that you are asking about?
Searching for tracks specifically of the people who stole the mandolin.
Okay. You get back. So augury, the concept is you get like wheel, woe, both, none.
Or it's been 2 weeks.
And essentially the sense that you get is, it's not like a whoa, like, oh, that's a bad idea. It's a whoa, like, what the fuck, dude? So, you kind of get the impression that you're not necessarily going to get any more information from that
I
course.
shrug.
You were looking for a topic relevant question. I gave you
Let's
one.
go ask about
That's
Trout
all.
Town.
Oh, that was more dinner.
You guys start
Or dinner
heading
was the
back. It's
topic
like a 10-minute
relevant.
walk. As you make your way back, coin comes to you. These are from Duke Fleeg. 2 coins, one to the players, and one to me for your kind approach
Less
to the
thank
zombie and
Now
for
we
me
have to
frying
grab
my
a card.
vocal cords.
We could grab the card of certain tracking, assuming Thomas put that in.
Do we want to try for it?
Thomas put that in.
We got 2 tries.
Yes.
Maybe 3.
I was gonna say, I don't know if that's in this level.
Quick, use Augury. Maybe we can find out if he still
I
has it in
also
there.
don't know if he's doctored my Golden Vault decks that have been sitting and waiting.
Thomas.
So here, how many? I'll put one in.
I got one.
I got
Okay, we're
2. Here's 2 more coins. Let's get 2 cards.
All right, one, two.
I failed that.
It's right there. You got it. You're close.
I could feel it, I just couldn't see it. All right, we're gonna do this real quickly, and then you guys can continue back in town. All right, let me make sure this is not the DUI.
Although that would be good too.
Would be very funny if I just let you.
There's a moose here.
While you're shuffling, I think Huey's intelligence is starting to rub off on me.
Which one do you want?
Ooh, I can't make this choice. Someone else make this choice. It's too much pressure.
Stage left.
Who's stage?
You're the stage.
You're the stage.
It's just like, you've driven with me. This is a terrible plan.
I always
Anyway.
defer to what I think is your correct
Yeah.
left, which may be wrong. Follow my hands,
No, that's
not
fine.
my
Yeah.
words.
You can go ahead and read it while I'm just like,
Right.
you guys suck. Go ahead and read which cards you have received, and then I will continue to narrate. What'd you get?
Shield deflection. When you are hit with an attack, you may instead deflect it to a creature within 5 feet of you other than the attacker.
Woo! All right.
Don't stand near me.
Boosted focus, reduce 1 stat by 5, and increase 1 other stat by 5 for 1 minute.
Nice. You make your way back down
Pretty good.
the down the road to the inn. Do you want to? It's like 9 p.m. Like, people are still definitely like drinking at the bar. It seems like it's picked up a little bit. Like, you are actually hearing like conversing happening in the bar. It's still not like raucous partying or anything, but maybe Hubert has spread the word that some folks are here to deal with the situation and people are like lightening up a little bit.
Maybe we can observe some folks and maybe offer them some entertainment.
Should I run to the carriage and grab the map if we're going to talk to people about villages in the area?
Yeah, I feel like some mood boosting carousing might get people to chat.
Sounds good to me.
Cool.
You grab your axe, head inside, and start whipping out the tunes. Go ahead and give me a performance check. Let's see how on you are tonight.
Let's see how I whiff this one.
14. I mean, it's not your best night, but like it's a perfectly good performance. You're jamming out, and you see some folks starting to, tap some feet, nod some heads. Like it does seem to be lightening the mood a little bit. People seem a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
Devin, you hop back to the car, dig your way through the bushes, pull the map out of the glove box, and head back in. You guys are all able to go in. You see that Huberta is behind the bar, pulling drinks and serving food, and everybody's having a nice time now. Nice on a relative scale, better than they were previously when you were in here. That's for sure. Look around. Huberta kind of like waves at y'all, like, hey, y'all want another drink, more food, anything? I got some creme brulee happening up in the back if you're interested.
Yes.
Yes, please.
All right, I'll go whip some of those right up for you now. Grab it any tip you want.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Given the plan we just proposed, I suggest we
Yeah.
mingle.
Yeah.
Taz is going to go ahead and just start helping out at the bar. I assume there's still folks there.
there's about like 10 to 12 people who are in here eating and drinking.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a light crowd, but like there is something that seems to be appreciated about having someone who can help fill up their drinks so they're not having to like lean over the bar and tap their own.
Yeah. She's got it. She's just helping out.
Yeah.
Casual chit chat. Hey, how's your night going?
You kind of just get a lot of like everyone's definitely giving you the eye of like, we know you are the outsiders because we know everybody who lives here, like not in a bad way, but just in a like small pleasantries, small talk, that sort of thing.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I'm like fully just, I'm buying drinks and I will ask folks about any good fishing and or fishing centric towns nearby.
Oh, you start asking about fishing, and that group of like lanky guys who came in as you guys were leaving earlier, one of them pipes up and is like, "Oh well, I mean, there's the old river town down there. They got a bunch of them houses on stilts. We trade with them once in a while. They catch the fish with their netting and their hooking, and then we trade them off for the orchards and such like that. Is that what you're looking for? You looking for sport or for trade?
Oh,
Trout?
trout.
Do they have trout?
I mean, we mostly got like perch going on in our rivers. You looking for trout?
Yeah, here, I bring out the map. Do you know any, actually, do you know of any villages that might be abandoned? I'm actually looking around for a table of like older...
You see a couple of like
villagers.
older farmers on the side, but as they start to look, one of the other young'uns kind of slaps and goes, "You looking for trout like the food? Or you looking for trout like the guy?"
Oh, there's a guy named Trout. We just
Trout Bonanza. He and his cousin Mackerel Mudbottom live down by the river.
It's very helpful information.
I would like you all to know, this is written in the module. I did not make this up. This is actually what it says. Yeah, they don't.
So I fold up the map.
and they're local. They
Oh
live
yeah,
here?
more raised around here. Always getting up into scrapes and troubles and whatever. Heard some rumors about them using one of the... Got some ring from up in the city with one of them fancy lightning spells that they would use to like stun all the fish. They could just scoop them off the top. Not sporting at all.
You're talking like actual lightning
But easy
or
eating.
the sound of lightning?
I don't know. I grow pears.
Are they good?
I think so.
I really went the opposite direction of what I meant by growing pears.
I do that too, but only at spring festival.
Are they? And it sounds like they're kind of the prankster types around here.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
prankster sounds like they'd have a problem or like that they have a plan. They're more just like they just get into they get into scrapes and they ain't above doing things a little dirty if they think it's gonna come out right.
What sorts of things?
I don't know, hiding all the rotten fish under the nice fish when you buy by weight so they don't got to give up all their good fish in one pile, or, throwing in the crawdad shells with the bulk so you can't really tell how many good meats you're getting, that sort of thing. I mean, like, I get times are hard for everyone hereabouts, but, there's no need to be scamming your neighbors.
Oh no.
I mean, to be fair, I think it's been hard on them since the orchard died. Used to be a big old olive orchard down yonder where that fancy fucker with the horns lives now and got all his musicians and shit. Used to be a whole olive orchard supplied oil for cities across the whole coast, and then it just up and died one day. Everybody lost their jobs. Been hard ever since.
How long ago was that?
Oh,
did it
years.
Do orchards up and die? Did all the trees get old at the same time?
If some disease or something came through.
I'm looking
You
to see
said-
if it actually gives me an exact amount of time since that happened.
Yeah, I wouldn't be the first time that we've heard of someone new, say, moving into town, and conveniently, there's now land available to them because of some mysterious disaster.
But you said the guy that lives there now is a music type?
Oh yeah, no, his family all big on him getting all up into the music. It's all we ever heard about. I mean, because we got Frody, right? He's a local hero, and so it always seemed kind of wild. Like, what if there were two prodigies coming out of the same area? I don't think it ever really panned out for him. So now he just teaches music down in his parents' old place since the orchard's not doing much of nothing right now.
Do you mind my asking his name? Our musician friend loves making new musician friends.
Oh yeah, he's some
something.
real highfalutin. What is Scythian Scaldrang?
That is a name.
Yep.
What's with these musicians playing flutes?
I don't know if he plays the flute. I think he's supposed to play a little bit of everything, or that's a rumor I've been hearing. I mean, I don't know if he was ever any good. I never heard him play. I just know that his parents were like real into the arts and such.
A reverse High School Musical.
We're not in this together.
But I don't want to play music. I want to play basketball.
And
Can I get you another round?
Oh, much obliged. I feel like we should be offering you something in return. We should be paying host to all y'all's folks. You care for a galette?
We're getting creme brulee.
Yes. That too.
Bernie, get the galette out of the fridge. Throw it in the oven. We'll double up. She gives a thumbs up and goes
I
into the
love
back.
this place.
I mean, boy howdy, the hospitality per capita, crazy.
Yeah, you guys chat around. Do you have any more questions for any of the locals about anything they have recently said or anything else?
I think it's with different people as much as possible, trying to figure out more about trout and mackerel, and then also Scythian.
As you ask around, most of what you hear about Scythian is roughly the same that you get from the first guy. Of he is rich people. They don't know that much about him. They just know some of the rumors. They know that was the big orchard. They're small town farmers. They're your local sourced. That was staged to be an olive empire until a few years back when just everything just wiped out. And so now it's this big old fancy house in the middle of just this dead wasteland of trees.
Not trying to replace it with any other trees?
Nobody has seen or heard any evidence of that happening. Trout mackerel, you get some more kind of anecdotal stories about. It seems like they're locals, young cousins, halflings, who used to work at the orchards the olive orchards until they suddenly were wiped out. And since then, they have taken up more of the working the river. And trying to do it's going from having a nice stable job with regular hours and everything to the kind of scrabbling for whatever you can get and sort of trading, and that seems to have led to some of the slightly more scandalous fudging their wares a little bit.
So it wasn't their orchard; they were just
they would have been laborers there.
Okay.
They had no stake in it.
Okay.
It was just a job.
And the owners of that empire?
The Scaldrang family.
Oh, okay, so it's still their thing. They didn't really move in. They just
No.
diversified.
The generally we can get is the Scaldrang family ran this massive empire. The son, Scythian, had inherited it, and then just like everything blighted one day. And in the time since then, he appears to have pivoted to teaching music, possibly. And there are these stories that he, like, there's this known story that his parents were, like, patrons of the arts and really pushed him to pursue the arts. So the idea of him teaching music, like, tracks to a certain degree. Nobody from around here, like, knows his work, has heard him play, anything like that. He's too upper class for that. They're too far removed. They just know kind of the name and the story, generally. They do know that the blight of the orchard has presumably, you get this from some of the older guys who just kind of like know how farming works better. They do suspect that Skuldring is probably operating under a lot of debt because you not only had a whole harvest that just never delivered, but you have not been able to recoup since. So there are some rumors of some folks who kind of have more of an eagle eye on whether that might lead to him losing the land and the land suddenly becoming available. There's certainly a little bit of shade amongst some of the older folks about the fact that he doesn't seem to have like tried to, clear things out and start growing again. So all of this land is just kind of going fallow, being this dead wasteland.
And it only impacted that orchard. It didn't
Correct.
impact anything else around it.
Yeah.
Are there other olive orchards in town?
Not around here.
Okay.
The next nearest ones are like over the mountains, which is not like for you city folks is not functionally that far, but for the purposes of the agrarian area, it's far enough that it has an impact.
Right. Okay.
So it sounds like this trout mackerel mud bottom might be our best bet, followed by Scythian. But I feel like we might want to investigate that after we get a good night's sleep, because...
Sure.
Yeah. We need to be at our A game. We need to be the most alert and awake. And intelligent.
I mean,
That's gonna be steep slope.
you're also gonna have a better time if you get up first thing in the morning. You probably have the easiest time finding trout and mackerel because they'll be up sort of ass crack of dawn trying to get the good goods off of the edge of the river before everybody else wakes up, starts fishing. Also, that way, folks who ain't such early risers ain't gonna see them if they're trying to pull anything shady.
Drink lots of water. Hear ya.
Yeah, that one. Stay hydrated, son. You look like you could use it. You got a lot of salt intake in your diet?
Yes.
Watch out for that, it sneaks up on you.
Hydrate or dehydrate.
Anything else we can do for you?
I think that's pretty.
Bernie! Dessert and shots!
Yes.
Taz immediately is like cracks necks, lines up all of them. Like, we're doing this!
For what seems like probably the first time in a little bit, like, there's actually, like, a pretty lively to do in this bar. Everyone seems a little lighter, a little more excited to have company. The music is giving them some hope. For some reason, everything just smells pleasantly of lavender now, and they're kind of able to forget about the fact that there's a creepy dead guy living in a cabin just up the way. You're able to, have a nice down-home country party with the locals. Have some desserts, have some very good liquor, and then quietly head off to sleep at the inn across the
I'm gonna make
way.
a phone call before we go.
Yes,
To
and
bed.
say as you guys head off to go to bed, Gemma, you fish around into the briefcase and pull out one of several burner phones that you have, and
And just be like, I know you had stuff going on this weekend, but we might need a little more in the brain department for this particular fiasco. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, you leave a voicemail. Check. Your mom has texted you back with the usual sort of like, keep me posted if you need anything. Love you.
Hydrate.
Yeah. And you all drift off to sleep, ready to get up in the morning and go investigate some shady halflings and a shitty orchard. And that is where we will end this evening's episode.
I have one.
Yeah, to say thank you
You have
all
one.
for joining
Can we
us.
buy
We're
one?
going to you're gonna buy one.
We would love to buy one more card.
one more card.
Oh.
We're not doing
It's under the
Close
Right,
enough.
stage
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
There you go. Stage left.
Slightly to your left. Yeah.
I was like, I just have to get to where it is, see if I can look for it. One more card. Yes, even though it is the end of the month, since we are only here for a limited time engagement, we are spending our coins on cards so that those can carry over through the adventure. Thank you to all of our lovely folks who provided us with coins tonight, especially since this was sort of a surprise.
Middle.
This was sort of a surprise addition to the roster.
I did right and left on the same hand, so I had to do middle.
For your third hand.
Yeah.
What does your card say?
Reaction time. Play this card to gain 1 extra reaction. Those are nice.
That's good.
May cast an additional leveled spell with a casting time of 1 reaction. Oh, just 1. Oh, you know what? Multiple spell reactions is fun. That's good
That's good.
times.
That's good when you have things coming at you and you
Yeah.
need to react.
I was gonna say, there's definitely some folks at this table that have some fun reaction options. Thank you all for joining us. This has been the first of our 3 episodes for the 6th level module, Axe from the Grave, from Keys from the Golden Vault. For the rest of this week, on Wednesday, new episode of the Redacted Report. This one's an exciting one, so if you're a fan of that show, please tune in. Thursday will be another episode of Inspiration Point, as far as I know. Saturday, we will be getting the next installment of Horror on the Orient Express, as our Great Dane Society continues to have horrible things happen on trains. They are then going to be off for 2 weeks, and then we'll be coming back. If you are a member of our Discord or our Patreon, keep an eye on those channels, because we might have something happening on one of those weekends just for our patrons. And then, of course, we will be back here next Monday night for the next episode of this fun little jaunt as we fill in for Phandelver and below. This week, if you can, please leave a comment on one of your favorite videos from Quests and Chaos. It is one of the best ways to help tell the YouTube that you are watching our videos and that you want other people to watch them too. Thank you so much for being with us. If you are a patron, we will see you in the After Dark. Good night.